Hello, and welcome to Of the People. My name is Robert Chernin. Thank you so much for joining us again. We need to talk about parental rights. If there's ground zero in the culture war, it's parental rights. Control a child's education, control what they can do or can't do. You control the next generation. And that's really what's going on here. It's ground zero. First and foremost, when you hear the term public education or public schools, it's not public. It's government-controlled education and government-run schools that dictate curriculum. Everyone knows that to be true. But let's look at the things that parents have no rights on. A parent has no right if a child wants to transition or transgender or whatever the term is in school. Yet if they go to the hospital and they need an operation and they're a minor, we are not only legally responsible for their medical bills, a hospital will not operate without parental permission. We're not supposed to know what's going on in their curriculum. There are schools now that are out there that if a parent wants to know, they have to sign a non-disclosure agreement. Sounds far-fetched, but that's accurate. Years ago, if a child was supposed to be given aspirin in school, they had to get parental permission. These days, doesn't happen. So the real question is, what are parental rights? What rights do we as a parent have? And let's be clear, if you're a minor, we're the major, they're the minors. We're responsible. They're not supposed to drink if they're underage. They certainly can't enlist in the military. They can't even, those student loans that they therefore are not responsible for paying back. If they're under age of majority, we sign for that as well. So all of these things, as parents, we're responsible for, yet we have no rights. And we have no ability to have input into their curriculum, into whether they're going to be transgendered or they're going to become some other gender or identify as some other gender. We don't have rights to understand their curriculum. This is ground zero. I'll say it again. This is ground zero in the culture war. It's all about parental rights. The real problem that's going on here is that the other side, whatever you want to label the other side as, has control and they don't want to give it back. And again, as we've talked about, the teachers unions, the NEA, National Education Association, and my favorite, Randy Weingarten from the American Federation of Teachers, they're not about the children. It's not even, frankly, about teachers. It's about politics. It's about big money, big education, and protecting their right and their power. So Moms for Liberty and all these other parental groups that have sprung up are really a necessary fight that we have at ground zero for what's really going to determine the course of the country. It's all about parental rights. We can talk about censorship. We can talk about the media. We can talk about all sorts of other things. But the rubber hits the road, as the expression goes, in parental rights and the control or the influence or the ability to direct that we as parents have, controlling, directing, having say in. Pick the words you want. I'm sure people will pick apart what I'm saying. I don't care. But parental rights are children's rights, and children's rights will determine the country we're going to live in. This is ground zero of the culture war. Don't let anybody tell you differently. We'll talk about this more in the upcoming show. But parental rights, that's what this comes down to. Stay tuned. We'll come right back with the main show.